So it's been about, I would say, between 4 to 5 months since I've been having fun and getting used to the Pixii Plus that I have here in my hand. And I think that that's enough time for me to give more of a initial first impressions about this, since I did my review about a month after having the camera. And that review, although a little lengthy, I think was pretty detailed in how I felt about the camera. So of course, you know, if we're going to do a review of this camera after about 4 months to 5 months use, what better way to do it than getting out, maybe hitting Eastern Market, downtown Detroit, or hitting Detroit in general, and having some fun shooting this with the Voigtlander Ultron 35 f2 on here, and giving you guys my further review of this camera, the things I like, the things I don't like, if I still feel the same way about it from that month review, or if I've changed my mind on it. So let's go ahead and get downtown. Got a little bit of a drive ahead of us, and see what's happening. All right. So as I sit here and think about what I like about the Pixii Plus, I can tell you, first off, let's start off with build quality. I still feel the same way I did when I had my month review of this camera about the build quality. I think they did a fantastic job in the design. I think they did a fantastic job on setting up the buttons. I like the way the buttons feel, the menu button here on the back, as well as I like the fact that the view, or at least the eyepiece, has magnets on it. They hold very well. They come off easily, and it gives me an opportunity to put different strings on there if I wanted to compensate for my eyesight with the diopter and things like that. I will also say I really like the block-like design of it, and I'm glad I chose the black. I like how the black has held up over the past 4 going on 5 months since I've had this in the use. Just really happy with the way this thing has been designed, crafted, and put together. Now I will say it does need help on the grip, and I do have something on here from Arcara Labs. It's called the Slim Skin, and I'll leave the link to their website for those of you that are looking at getting this camera for yourself to definitely help with the grip. Let's go to the image quality. When it comes to the image quality, I still feel just as excited about the images coming out of this 20 megapixel or 26 megapixel, excuse me, APS-C sensor. And you know, it's the same sensor that's on the Fuji X cameras, and it's just like those. It gives some really sharp images when I want them sharp. It helps me do my panning the way I want to get them, and I just like the fact that they have what I feel is a quality sensor in here, providing some really great images, and that hasn't changed for me as well. So when it comes to the colors, that they are working on it. They have some profiles that you can use, but I do like the fact that the DNG files give me a lot of information. It allows me to go in and post and make the necessary changes that I would want to make to the images to make them my own. I actually have some presets that I'm looking at building that I can use with this in Lightroom and be able to really capture what I want to capture when I'm coming out and doing my street photography with this camera. This camera has become such a joy to use that it definitely goes right in my backpack. Actually, it shares space with my X100 or X106, I should say, because of its portability, because of how slim this camera is. That's how I feel about this camera after 4.5 going on 5 months of use, as far as the image quality goes, as far as the build quality and so forth. And then we'll get into some things that I still have issues with. Oh, and I will say too, I still have just as much fun using the app to view images when I'm on the go like I am now, and haven't gotten home yet to load this onto my computer. So let's go ahead and finish up with some more images, and then we'll give my conclusion or a wrap up, as well as the things that, like I said, I think they still need to work on. Okay guys, I'm gonna try to make this quick on finishing this up and wrapping this up with things that I would like Pixii, the company, to consider when it comes to the Pixii line of cameras. So the one thing I want to start off with, you know, we started off with build quality on what I like, and I will say that when it comes to what I don't like, that hasn't changed as well. I really would have liked to see Pixii come out with at least a case or some type of accessory to help with the ergonomics of this camera and holding it. I like that I was able to get from the Facebook group that somebody was working with, a person, to come up with something that to help us out and holding this camera more comfortably. And Acura, if I'm saying it right, Acura Labs came out with this slim skin that's on here, as you can see, and I love that it gives me the ability with a thumb piece here covering over the buttons, and then finger rest piece here to comfortably hold this camera, because otherwise this would be not so great of a camera to hold long term. I was able to walk around Eastern Market, get some more images, and be able to comfortably hold this camera utilizing the focusing ring on the Voigtlander lens, as if I basically was holding any other camera I had. The other thing I would say would be the speed or the dial up here for my shutter speed. As you guys see, that dial sticks up a little from the top of the body and allows itself to be rubbed, hit, bumped, all of that stuff, easily moved. But I'm also starting to see on the very corners of it a little bit of wear of the rubberized material that's on there for helping you grip it and spin it. I think they can actually replace that with maybe something with some knurling on it and lower the profile a little so it's not as easily bumped. So that's the build quality that I would like to see in the future them look into and look at how they can do it a little differently. When it comes to the image quality, I will, again, as I said in the month review, would love to see them do is continue to work on their profiles for their colors. They're getting better, but I do like the fact that with the DNG file I can go into post in Lightroom and be able to edit them. When it comes to taking the pictures though, the thing that I find interesting is that if I do decide to shoot this in a total manual situation, meaning I leave the auto ISO on, I think it does a great job there. But when it comes to the automatic shutter speed selection, it seems to operate faster than me shooting manual. And what I mean is, as I turn the focus ring on the lenses and let it in more or less light for the light meter to sense, it doesn't quite on its indicators. As you can see, there's indicators on the top. You also see them in the viewfinder. It isn't as fast to recognize that light and let me know that I'm in the center or dot, in that I don't have to make adjustments left or right to make sure that my exposure is good when it comes to the lighting coming in through the lens to the sensor. I wish it was a lot faster, or more faster. I ain't gonna say it's super slow, but faster than what it is. And I find that I'd rather just put the shutter speed button, or dial, excuse me, on A, because it seems to work faster than if I was fully manual. So that's the piece on the image quality. But there's one part I did not go over, and I'll go over now for the app. Still have the same feeling about the app as I did before, which is I'd rather them have built-in Wi-Fi in this camera for me to get the full functionality of the app without having to be on my home Wi-Fi, on the camera and on the phone, to basically effectively download the images to the app to use. But other than that, the app works just as any other app does based on its connection. So that would be that. In conclusion, am I happy that I got this camera? So for me, because of the price that I got it at, yes, I am happy. I went ahead and finally picked this lens up to give me a digital rangefinder experience, just like the Leica M10-D or M11-D, where there's no digital back. I think this is for those of us that like that rangefinder film experience and wanted in a digital arena, if you will, environment. This is definitely an option for you, and I like that this option, even new, is way financially appealing than getting the Leica version of it. And yeah, that's literally what it comes down to on that aspect. I could see myself sending this in for the 24 megapixel full frame upgrade, and continuing to really enjoy this camera with a full frame sensor. Not that the APS-C isn't great. I think they should continue to make an APS-C version and to continue to make a full frame version for folks with those price differences, and give people the flexibility to choose what they think is best for them, specifically based on their finances. Which is why, again, I would highly recommend this as an option for those that don't want to spend the money and get a Leica. So with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the feedback. I'm going to continue to have fun with this camera as part of my setup. You know, it's really jumped in there along with my X100-6 as my everyday camera and walk around, especially when I put that Brighton Star pancake lens on top of this thing. It's just a wonderful experience with that. And then, you know, something I've been starting up in the videos lately is let me know with a time code what image you guys like the most. You know, let the community know what you liked. I'd like to see of my images that I shoot and the work that I get, what you guys like, just to give me some feedback. And then hit that comment button, or I should say hit that like button, and subscribe for more content. You know, let me know what you guys think of everything. And if you like what you get, then definitely hit that like button. I keep saying comment button, and hit that subscribe button. See you guys on the next video.